And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, BRL Exia 1984, and in the booth with me is Mr. Wrathful himself, Tier 3 driver of the Racing Point. And tonight we have for you is the Breakout Racing League F2 Championship here in Russia. Mr. Wrathful, how are you today?
I'm excited to see how these racers are going to get on. I do believe it's a break week next week, so this will give us kind of the loadout of points to have some suspendeds for these drivers going into the next 2 weeks. So we'll have to see.
And I completely agree with you. We also have some newer faces that we don't usually see racing here in F2 today. BRL Maverick himself, he is here. BRL Aldifer is here. And Toxin is in here racing as we get going. We're going to jump up the leaderboard. Looks like we got Chandler's leading out the grid here at Russia. We're going to pull up a little bit of the display information here for everybody so they get an idea of what's going on as they go through. Chandler still sitting up top. Sparky, Ham, Newton, they're battling out for that second, third. Aldifer showing really racy with the F2. Toxin sitting fourth right now here through Sector 1. Maverick all the way back there in 15th with Mean Fern and Deer Hunter. And FinFan number 1. Interesting, Ferrari Nut, one of the big top championship battlers. He's now slotted up to second in the start of that, second sector. Chandler Seta goes purple in the first. Can he keep it going and not disqualify? Let's see if he got real close to doing that one on that corner there. So right now, as we have it through Sector 2, we have Chandler Seta, Ham Newton, Ferrari Nut 94, BRL Aldifer, Deer Hunter, and now number 1 FinFan, then Deer Hunter, then Aldifer, Meanford, Taylor Klein and Sparky, both teammates battling it out, try to move up the grid. Ferrari Nut and Ham Newton still duking it out as Chandler went purple too. So it looks like Chandler may put his car on pole to kind of disrupt this whole championship battle that there is up in the front. But Webster is retired from the session, so that's going to give Maverick that 14th place. Here goes Chandler. He's coming across the line. What can he do? He did a 144.7. That puts him on pole. Deer Hunter is disqualified. Toxin is disqualified.
Maverick was disqualified, so we have a few changes up at the end there.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. The one thing that kind of throws a lot of us the announcers off is that due to how F2 is set up with the one-shot qualifying, it's hard for us to really bounce around with people, mostly because everything moves around so much. But there you have it. Chandler set at 3/10 faster than Ham Newton. Ham Newton putting his car out in second. What's really going to mess up with Ferrari Nut in this championship standing is number 1 FinFan and Meanford are ahead of him for third and fourth. Aldifer looking very racy, only about 2/10 behind Ferrari Nut, but a lot of that can change during the race.
Hey, it's a long run into that first corner, so I'm sure some of these guys will be putting to move up ahead, but yeah, Canada King puts himself into 11th. I wonder if that'll be a good slotting in for him, considering he's got drivers in behind who didn't put in a time, just disqualified, so they might have stronger pace. Don't know if he'll get too caught up with that, so we'll see.
Completely agreed. Now, as we wait for the drivers here to select their loadout, we would like to make an announcement for everybody that we have just heard and found out that Tier 1 for the Breakout Racing League next season will be going to no line. So a lot of the drivers are going to have to learn how to race with no line next season. But here at Breakout Racing League, we try to push the best out of our drivers and give you the best competition levels that there can be. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see, how the top American racers and Oceanic racers race with no line. I know I've tried it a couple times. It's definitely interesting and tricky. What's your thoughts on that, Raffle?
Man, I crutch on that line so hard, so I'm not going to say, oh, it's a small, easy task to get rid of, because I do like seeing that little bit of red to say, hey, you're coming in hot, especially when defending and I can't see the corner all that well. It's kind of helpful sometimes on attack and defense when another car is in that corner. But besides that, I think for a quali or timed lap or anything like that, you could probably just run it with no line. I would definitely say starting into the next season, I'm probably going to try and do a campaign with no line and see how it goes, but it's the only way you learn is with practice. So I'm sure all these guys will be doing a lot of that as well. So.
And here we have the drivers. They are out on their formation lap. Let's get this started with them. We have Chandler Setta. He's starting first and on pole. Ham Newton, he is starting second. Number 1, Fin Fan, he's starting third. Mean Fern is starting fourth. Ham Newton's teammate. Can Mean Fern hold back Ferrari Nut in the championship battle? Mind you, Mean Fern is actually just behind Ferrari Nut in the championship series by 65 points. Ferrari Nut sitting second overall in the championship series. He's trying to hunt down Ham Newton. He's only 13 points back. BRL Aldifer, first time seeing him out here in the F2 cars. He's starting sixth. Taylor Klein and Sparky, both teammates. They're 7th and 8th. Question is are they going to do some team orders and try to, make some things work? We're going to drop down to SF1 Rhodes, the faster driver of the backpack here that we have. We'll definitely keep an eye on him in that BWT ride and see what he's capable of doing. Hoopalicious looked like he had a little bit of a semi-strong run. Canada King bringing it in on 11th. I believe it was a 148. Webster's in 12th here. He kind of looks like Nope, the computer took over. Then we got Deer Hunter 13, Toxin 14, and Maverick 15. So as we wait for the drivers to get to the grid and get started, it's definitely going to be a big race to see, don't you think, Wrathful?
I think so, and with that little bit of overcast, I wonder how that's going to affect the tires. These guys are all starting on those super softs, probably moving into mediums for F2, being as the strategy that they're forced to do. So I'm wondering if these guys will be able to handle the temps, even though Russia does have a fairly smooth surface, but we're coming down to the red lights. See how these guys can handle the takeoff.
We are waiting for the 5 lights. Here they go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. Are we away? We are away. Massive tire smoke. Deer Hunter gets an amazing run. Chandler said it defends on the inside to Ham Newton.
As Ham Newton's trying to get him
on the outside. There's a massive freight train and Kabobble right behind them. You can see Aldifer and Ferrari Nut, they're trying to battle it out. Mean Fern is getting swamped by all these drivers. Here they go all the way through. Too wide around the carousel piece as they go. Looks like SF1 Rhodes is trying to make work. Sparky has left
makes
the
a move
session.
on Chandler. He's fighting side by side as they're going 2 by 2 into the corners, trying to pick out number 1.
Chandler defending on the inside, not showing any room to Ham Newton as they come through here. Sector 2, clean racing. Ooh!
Oh, his Fin Fan
looks like Fin Fan lost a little bit of a wing.
Recovers well. Recovered well though. Oh, and there's more contact at the back. As Aldifer's
looks
off.
like Aldifer's falling back. There's a virtual safety car. Ooh,
oh
Taylor
no,
Klein is
Taylor
retired.
Klein's out. I think that was teammates getting collided there. That's not good.
With this virtual safety car, Ham Newton and his teammate Mean Fern are sitting there second and third. Ferrari Nut sitting fourth. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. I'm surprised that a safety car hasn't fully came out with how everything was. But virtual safety car is gone and we are away. Ham Newton is all over the back of Chandler as we get going. Webster is on Sparky. We're going to drop down there.
Sparky gets a kick of oversteer, and that's going to let Canada King slip through him.
Ooh, here they go.
Into the green.
Sparky defending Maverick. Maverick had a look on the inside. Chandler sets the new fast lap. We're going to jump back up here to the front runners. Ham Newton's looking on the outside of the corner. Can he make it stick? Chandler squeezing the door out. Will Ham get a run? There's Ferrari Nut as well behind Mean Fern. Ham Newton on the inside, using all that curve on the carousel. Shuts the door on Chandler. Chandler having to check up right behind him as they go through.
And that's just going to pull Mean Fern in a little bit closer. Maybe it's team orders to have the two of them fight Chandler instead of having just a one-on-one battle.
Very
Try to get the
true.
two of them ahead to fight him off.
See, Ham Newton is trying to pull that gap, but Ferrari Nut is looking to make something happen as they go through. SF1 Rhodes looks like he has wing damage. He's falling down the grid. Hoopalicious dives
King
into
makes
the
a
pits.
move through. As Rhodes is letting everybody else go by for his wing damage, not wanting to catch any other drivers up in his drama. Good on
Very
him.
true. Hoopalicious getting hit with a lot of time penalties. What a shame on him. He's always been such a good driver here at BRL. Shame to see. Ooh. Chandler Senna losing the back end just a little bit as they go through here in Sector 3.
Ferrari Nut is all on the back of Mean Fern. I'm wondering if he'll be able to make the move this time around to put himself into a fight for the top three. Mean Fern's going to be able to get a run on Chandler, but looks like Ferrari Nut does have a decent run. But DRS open now. I think Ferrari Nut is close, but not close enough.
No, he had a nice run on all over the back end of Mean Fern.
But Sparky's going to try and make the move on Webster. And just backs out of it right at the end. And now they're going through the large carousel corner.
Can he make it stick? He's trying the inside outside. He doesn't. He's going to check up right behind him. We're going to jump over to Ferrari Nut again. A lot of these battles throughout the whole entire race. Ferrari Nut setting a new fast lap in Sector 1. If he keeps this going, he may be able to set the new fast lap of the race. I do know that Ham Newton has the fastest lap of the race.
I'm sure these guys are going to be fighting for every single point that they can get, so I'm sure it'll come down to even fighting out for fastest lap at this point.
I'm sure you can contest as a Tier 3 driver, you know, even that small P3 podium, P2 podium, it's a massive momentum jumper, you know, when you go into the, you know, into a break week, you know what I mean? It gives you that, like, rejuvenation of the battle for what you need to do.
Who wants to go on to a break week on a sour note? You're now sitting for 2 weeks on whatever horrible race you had left, right? So you never want to do that. So I'm sure all these guys are going to want a good performance here today before they go on that break.
Aldifer,
As Maverick is off. I don't know if that was contact with Aldifer.
I'm not going to say it was. I'm not going to say it wasn't, but it looked like it was. Here we go. Sparky on Webster. Is he going to make it stick? We've also got our eyes on Ferrari Nut also. Looks like they back out.
He doesn't make the run.
Here goes Sparky on the
Chandler goes
inside.
off wide a bit.
We're going to jump back up here. What happens? Ham Newton is defending, keeping that gap.
Ferrari Nut is just right on the back of Mean Fern. Chandler went off a little bit, losing his gap from Ham Newton and closing it a little bit to Mean Fern, but not enough for Mean Fern to be able to make a move. As these guys are all starting to find that 1 second gap from one another, but Sparky and Webster putting down that fight in the top 4 are not letting that one go either.
It's amazing to see Sparky get back in. We do know he had a little bit of a connection issue and lagged out. I've noticed a lot of the lines from Sparky is a lot more, from Webster's a lot more, pushing the track limits as much as he possibly can. We have a yellow sector 2. It is clear. Here goes Webster. DRS is open. He's trying the inside. Is he going to make it stick? Down on the inside he goes. smooth. Oh, he loses the back. Does he save it? Ooh, power slides a little bit, but he saves it. Jump back up here with Ferrari Nut. He's going to possibly get the run on Mean Fern. Here he comes through on the last corner. On lap
now I know
4 into 5.
Has some damage, and it looks like Deer Hunter is going to be able to try and make a move as well, putting him up into a 5-second gap from the leaders, so hopefully he can claw that back.
Yeah, very true.
Oh, Ferrari Nut's making that move.
He gets it
right down on the inside. And Meanfern's going to try and fight back.
Meanfern gets a better run out of the corner.
Inside. They're side by side. He has let up a little bit on the gas with the curb. Didn't have the traction he wanted.
A little bit of a lockup from Ferrari Nut. How much is that going to whittle down his tires? Deer Hunter's 3/10 back from Fin Fan. That's another close battle. I'll keep my eye on that as well to jump around and see. Seems like Ham Newton and Chandler have kind of kept the distance around 7 to 8 tenths there, bouncing around, nothing too much. As Ferrari Nut is falling back to about 1.5 seconds to these two front runners, which doesn't really help him at all in this race. We're going to jump over to Deer Hunter. He's going to have DRS.
These guys are probably going to look at new sets of tires, but yeah, Alderfer makes a move around Canada King. Canada King's going to have DRS.
Ooh, here goes Deer Hunter.
Deer Hunter's going to make the move.
Ooh, but Fin Fan defends
Fin Fan's got the inside.
Real nice, clean racing. Both drivers giving each other adequate space.
Not even a touch, millimeters between one another. Gentlemanly. Very well done, boys.
Yes, very, very well done. Good racing. Let's see as we go through here. Well, Fin Fan dives into the pits. Deer Hunter's going to stay out.
He does have wing damage, so he's going to try and get that wing repaired, but he gets a 5-second speeding, and that's not going to help him.
No, it's not, but Mean Fern's dives into the
pit
pits. Sparky also dives into the pits. Chandler's
I would imagine
5
Mean Fern's headed now not to cause Ham Newton any issues. So maybe that is team orders. So I would imagine Ham Newton's in next lap. Same with Chandler, same with Ferrari Nut. We'll have to see where Mean Fern can maybe put himself ahead of his teammate in the other 3.
We have a yellow sector 3. What could it possibly be? Looks like Toxin lost the back end a little bit, spun. He's trying to regain his composure here at the race. First time doing F2s with these gentlemen. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
And Webster's right on the back of him, but Sparky just came out of the pits, and now it's a 3-way battle. Webster and Sparky are still at it, as Webster did not get ahead in the pits.
Yeah, and it doesn't help Sparky. You know, he could have gotten a jump. You know, if Toxin wasn't there, Webster wouldn't have had the DRS to be able to pull, you know what I mean, on these drivers. See where we are at.
Seems like the two of them are going to be fighting it, but Chandler is that 0.4, but I think he's going to be pitting this lap with Ham Newton to get off of those super softs.
Yeah, see, here we are riding with the 1 and 2 around the track of Russia. They are coming up to the pit entrance. Are they going to dive into the pits? Ham dives into the pits. Chandler dives in as well. Is Ferrari Nut? Ferrari Nut stays out. He's going out a little bit longer. I do know when I was practicing with these drivers, just to get a feel of how F2 cars were, I did notice that the pit strategy from super soft to mediums was between laps 6 and 9. We have a yellow sector 2. Looks like it's BRL Maverick.
Fern is making his way around. I wonder when these guys... Ferrari Nut's already out.
Here goes Mean Fern.
Way ahead.
Second to the last
Ferrari Nut
corner.
Stayed out.
Yeah, Ferrari Nut did stay out. But here goes Mean Fern. He's jumping the order. 5th, 4th. Looks like he's not going to get Chandler or Ham Newton, but he did pit sooner. So with that, he's gonna have a little bit of the newer tires. They're not gonna be so cold. You know, he'll be able to push sooner on them. Deer Hunter's still in the pits.
Webster's making the move on Sparky down the inside.
Ooh, Sparky gets a run on him.
Sparky's gonna try and fight him. He's going to fight him up the inside again. These two have just been having at it all race.
I mean, what an amazing battle all the way
gaining.
through the grid.
He's going to make the dive. Webster makes the dive, makes the move, light contact, but Webster does stick it through.
It does look like Webster did leave adequate space on the outside, you know, not trying to completely squeeze, as we have Toxin, Hoopalicious, and Maverick in the pits as well. Question is what is Ferrari not going to do? Here he comes through. He is diving into the pits. Where is Ham Newton? We do know the Webster and Sparky battle is amongst us.
I think the delta's not big enough for Ferrari, not savvy.
Here goes Ham Newton. He's coming through the last chicane before the last two corners. Chandler is literally 2.3 seconds behind him. Here
Ferrari
goes
Nut's
Ham.
just been released from the pits. On the run. He's running. He's trying to get out of the pits.
Ham Newton, last corner. Onto the main
Ferrari
straight.
Nut. He's not even at the line yet. Ferrari Nut's at the line.
Oh,
he's going.
Is Chandler going to get him?
No.
Is
Meanfern going to get him?
No.
No.
Ferrari Nut does stick out. Ferrari Nut keeps it simple and gets third, which is good. But as we see Hoopalicious, he's fallen down the order to BRL, Maverick, and Toxin.
Is that overcut going to give Meanfern an opportunity to attack Ferrari Nut on those ready tires compared to that fresh set that might still be a little cold?
You know, it's definitely going to be an interesting dilemma to see how that all plays out. As we see Meanfern running a little bit wide there. Chandler's fallen back a little bit to Ham Newton. He was 2.2, now he's 2.6 in the Delta. But the battle that we have is Webster to Sparky and SF1 Roads to Canada King. Canada King is in the points in 10th. Can he hold off SF1 Roads? He's only 7/10.
It's Maverick and Hoopalicious have both hit each other, I think. And
that brings out a safety car. What a shame. Now, this is definitely going to help. Now, you know, even though this is going to help Ferrari Nut out, though, because it's going to stretch out his tires a little bit, you know, make it easier. But this is not going to help out drivers like Sparky, Canada King, where they had a good distance. You know what I mean? We do know that number one FinFan is a very fast driver. Now that 2.6 second gap that he had, that's going to reel him in to Webster.
It does pull Deer Hunter into that top 5 battle.
It
hasn't
does.
Been able to catch up, but it does pull him into that. I wonder if Sparky and Webster will hold back the rest of the group with their constant fighting, though, and that will seal away the top 5. It very well could, but yeah. Very interesting so far. It definitely gives Toxin and Hoopalicious maybe a second chance at this race.
It's very true. But you know, as we go through here, let's see what we have. We're going to run through the order now. We've got Ham Newton. He is leading the F2 race. Hoopalicious disqualified from session. What a shame there. And then we have Chandler Setta. He's sitting second. He's sitting right behind Ham Newton. Ferrari Nut. He is sitting third. Meanfern fourth. Deer Hunter fifth. Sparky and Webster battling it out even behind the safety car. These two drivers just won't give each other an inch. Ooh, as Sparky gives them the door behind the safety car. Number one FinFan, he's going to be sitting 8th. Alderfer 9th. Canada King is still 10th. SF1 Roads 11th. Toxin 12th. And it looks like Hoopalicious is just ahead of the safety car, but I don't know what's going on here with him. But we'll definitely keep an eye on that for everybody that is watching.
See, it said that he was disqualified for ignoring yellow flags. I think he was just trying to unlap himself. I don't know how this game dynamic works with that.
That's very true as well. So as a driver, Rathel, what is your strategy now? I know F2 cars are a lot different than F1, mostly due to the fact of you only have just 2 tire compounds. I mean, they a little bit different, because you have to save the tires. You've got lap 9 out of 14. You've got 5 laps to go. We're under a safety car. I mean, what's going on in your thought process where what you thought was battling, now you're, where you didn't think you had a battle, you're just racing the finish. And now, safety car, you're now 2-3 tenths trying to get the jump on everybody. I mean, what's your thought process on this, Raffle?
It's definitely a hard call. I would definitely be checking my, talking to Jeff a little bit and seeing who's ahead and who's behind, what their penalties are, how long they've been on their tires compared to myself, kind of, reevaluating what's going on around track, which I think is the best way to keep a cool head. The most information will give you confidence, and having that confidence will keep your race going. So there is that. I was hoping that Rhodes would be on a fresher set of super softs, but he's on 7 laps of those, so he's had to stretch them pretty far.
Yeah. Well,
I was hoping maybe he'd make a late run on a fresh super soft run, but I was mistaken.
It's okay, but our biggest mover today is Deer Hunter with 8 places. He moved up the grid 8 places, up to 5th here. The next biggest mover is Webster with 5 places, up to 7. Our biggest follower is Taylor Clam, but he is out of the race. What a shame. And number 1 Finn Fan with 5 places. So we're just definitely going to have to keep an eye on how everybody's, going. I'm surprised SF1 Rhodes stayed out on those. He's trying to stretch those super soft tires out. It may benefit him due to how Russia has a very low tire drag. And see how that
Although it's
plays
clouded over, I don't think it'll rain for the sprint, but maybe he's looking at the sprint and trying to maintain the tire for that, but that's all I could imagine. But who knows, could be rain. I always love rain. It's an amazing dynamic to drive in.
100% rain is amazing. Here at Russia, anything is possible. So I'm guessing the safety car will be in next lap. With that means we are going to have a 3-lap shootout here in this feature race. We do know Ferrari Nut wants to try to get past Chandler to take this battle of the championship out. But you have all these other drivers like Deer Hunter. Deer Hunter wants his championship point. His chance to, get a championship.
Get some points up in there. No, 100%. That's the thing. With Ferrari not being the last person to pit for the mediums, he's got the freshest set, but everybody else is mostly around the 4 or 5 lap mark. So they all should have relatively the same pace for like a 3-lap shootout. So we'll have to see how that goes, which is great because that means all the time penalties that these guys might have racked up are going to be crucial, which I do like at the end of a race because it just makes you feel a little bit better that time penalty actually meant something instead of, oh, they had a 30-second gap and their 6 seconds meant nothing. That's the difference. So hopefully time penalties will make a big deal at the end here with this 3-lap shootout. A 3-second time penalty, 3-second gap is going to be nearly impossible to make in 3 laps from any of these guys, as we saw that they were able to hold on to each other fairly well. So shall be interesting.
Very true, very true. Looks like Webster received a 5-second time penalty under the safety car for exceeding track limits. I do know for a fact, like I tell the Tier 3 drivers, you got to be careful. You got to know your track limits, especially when the safety car comes out. We've all been racing, we all should know. And it's one of those shames where you totally forget, you turn into a corner because what happens, and all of a sudden, bang, you're hit with it. Here we have it. Safety car is in this lap. Question is how far is Cam Newton going to back up this field? So how much is he going to push them back? He's stacking them up good here as we get started. He's waiting for that safety car to go in. He doesn't want to have to be that one guy that guns it too early and then has to slam on the brakes.
Yeah, from my experience with these safety cars, it's better just to back up the whole pack, nice and easy and slow. Let the safety car come in and then launch on your own terms instead of that game trying to slow you down or causing some other issues. It's pretty bad in Singapore. Hopefully Russia here, since it's a short pit entry, shouldn't be that bad.
Cam Newton getting a beautiful run, giving Chandler the kind of I'm out of here, as he is 6/10 ahead of Chandler Seda, and then Ferrari is 7 to 8/10 now behind Chandler Seda. But this is going to allow Mean Fern. He's only 3/10 back behind Ferrari.
As Finfan's making the move on Webster. And Mean Fern's made the run. Oh, but that's a corner cut, and he's lost a lot of time.
Behind Deer Hunter as well, and Sparky.
And that's going to pull Webster, who's having a hard time on the restart. He's fighting Finfan and Aldifer at the back there for 7, 8, 9.
Sparky. They go side by side.
It looks like Mean Fern's going to take it, and Sparky's going to back out, but he's, a little touch of oversteer. He does save the car very well, though. Chandler's like 4 on the back of Cam Newton, still trying to push. They're side by side. Aldifer backs up just a little bit. Nice braking just to get out of there.
Trying to keep up with everybody in here. Ladies and gentlemen, please bear with us. Oh! Aldifer loses it, but he saves it.
His Mean Fern's on the back of Deer Hunter now. He's going to try and make an inside or outside jump down the straight.
Ooh, big lockup.
Side by side.
Giving him the door. Here they go through. Side by side.
Let Sparky through. And Webster's going to be on the back of Deer Hunter now.
What a battle we have seen. Before we were talking about Deer Hunter in that top battle. Now we're talking about Sparky in that top 5. Chandler has reeled in Ham Newton to 5/10 now, but Ferrari
he's pushing. He got the fastest lap there.
Here we go. The freight train has
trying to get that run on Sparky. Deer Hunter's a second out. Webster's on the back of Deer Hunter. Finfan's on the back of Webster. Aldifer's trying to close that gap in. Rhodes and Canada King are still fighting as they're going side by side into the corners as well.
We have a massive.
All these guys are battling it out for their points.
7th and 8th on Deer Hunter. Deer Hunter not knowing what to do. As Webster, Finfan looking on the inside of Webster. He's got to back out. Webster running very wide there.
And Chandler sets a new purple sector 1, so he's just giving it everything to try and catch up to Ham Newton and make something happen before the end of this race here.
Jump over to Finfan. What's he going to do? He's 2/10 back. This is the closest battle other than Toxin on Canada King. Toxin trying to make something happen.
And Webster's trying to get the move done on Deer Hunter, but Finfan had a better run out of the corner. He's going to try and close in. They're all a little bit too far out, but they're all going to follow each other into the corner. Toxin's got a good run on Canada King. Can he get it done, though? Canada King blocks him off. Good defending. Can't make the corner in time.
Here we go, jumping over to Webster and Finfan. Finfan all over the gearbox. Webster. Oh, Webster gets a snap out of that back end. Finfan on the inside. He's going to make it stick. But Ham Newton says, you know what, Chandler? I'm setting the fast lap at a 1:47. DRS is enabled. Here comes the freight trains, everybody.
And Chandler's still within DRS range. He's trying to go on to Ham Newton. He's probably going to try and get him on that final DRS straight. Trying to close in that gap.
Has retired from the session. What a shame.
As Toxin's got the run out on Canada King.
Here he goes through turn 1. He makes it stick. Webster has retired.
But Webster's lost it. No. And Webster's out.
Oh, what a shame. That's going to slot Toxin up.
And Canada King and Aldifer. all into the points.
The battle is on the last lap. Chandler is 0.3 behind Ham Newton. We're going to follow aboard with them to see what's going to happen as we get through here. Can Chandler reel him in up to this DRS zone? Here they go. A little bit of a wiggle from Chandler, but did he lose a lot of time? DRS is open. He's trying to utilize as much slipstream as he can. Late braking. Look at that. Ooh, he tries it on the inside.
He's gonna try it. Let's try. His fin fan makes the move on Deer Hunter.
We're gonna go right along board. We're up to the second to last corner. Ham defends on the inside. Here goes Chandler, still all over the gearbox. Is he gonna send it up? Ham locks it just a hair. Across the line, Ham Newton gets it. With Chandler finishing second. Ferrari Nut third. Meanford fourth. Sparky fifth. Number one, Fin Fan. Deer Hunter jumps up to fifth. Fin Fan sixth. Sparky falls down to seventh. Toxin across the line. Toxin goes to seventh. Sparky to eighth. Canada King slot up like 3 spots.
Seven. Oh man, penalty free must have been, or close to it. Penalties must have really racked in on those guys.
What an amazing race. Ham Newton just kind of running his course and finishing it out. What a wonderful drive by him. We're going to speed this up a little bit for everybody and take a look at the standings, what we have. So there you have it. Ham Newton takes first. Chandler set a second. Ferrari Nut third. Mean Fern fourth. Deer Hunter fifth. Fin Fan sixth. Cannon King in seventh from 11th. What an amazing drive for the Cardland driver. BRL Aldifer started sixth. He finished eighth. So now Aldifer is going to jump to the pole position at the start of the sprint. Toxin is going to be sitting ninth. Sparky 10th. Webster, what a shame he DNF'd. 11th. Rhodes 12th. Maverick 13th. Taylor Clan 14th. And Hoopalicious 15th for too many penalties. What's your thoughts on that overall feature race, Rathwell?
Well, it looks like Ham Newton took fastest lap, but Chandler still had the pole and qualify, so those two are still fighting it out for points going into the sprint. But Canada King being on the front row with Aldifer is going to be an interesting start to the sprint race.
Well, yes, it will be. I
don't think Canada King spent too much time up on the front row.
Well, and the same thing like we said last week with SF1 Roads up in there in the front, and just like in Italy with SF1 Roads, we were interested to see how SF1 Roads took the battle in the sprint race, and he kind of bogged out at the start. We didn't know how he was going to be performing. So it's definitely interesting. Aldifer, we've seen a lot of pace out of him. He qualified, I believe, 5th or 6th, at the start of the race, for the start of the feature. Now he's starting to pull. We do know he's a fast driver, former Tier 1 driver, who used to race with like Ham Newton and Chandler. So we'll have to see how he, pushes it. I forgot that they actually do a formation lap. I apologize to all the viewers that are watching. But let's see what we have here. We have BRL Aldifer. He's starting on pole for the sprint race. Canada King, he's starting second. Let's pull up the tires real quick. All the drivers are going mediums for this 11-lap battle. Fin Fan third. Fin Fan he started third last race, started third this race. He's a very fast driver. And the fact that he's starting third, if he can get past Aldifer and Canada King, he could push and pull away and get that amazing, distance.
I could say the same for, Deer Hunter and Meanfern. I think the three of them have a pretty good chance if they can try and get around Aldifer and Canada King to have a pretty good run. putting some traffic between them and Ferrari Nut, Chandler, and Ham Newton back in 6, 7, and 8.
Now we have Toxin. He is sitting on the grid. BRL Sparky. He looked really racy. Webster, he's on the grid. SF1 Rhodes, he's there. BRL Maverick. We'll definitely keep an eye on him, see how well he adapts. Taylor Klein, he had a little bit of an issue in the first race. Hopefully he's able to regain some of his strength and push. Hoopalicious, what a shame to him. He's always been fast in the F2 cars, just hasn't had a whole lot of luck here at Russia. I mean, you know what's interesting is a lot of these races, the feature races 14 laps long, and then the sprint race is 11 laps. It almost seems like the sprint race should be like 6 laps or so. Let the drivers really just battle it out. It's almost like you're doing 2 feature races for F2.
Well, I think it's more about maintaining the tire deg in the sprint race and being able to really show that you have it all down in just a single run, rather than having the pit strategy. And I think that's just the difference for it. Kind of just run hot lap after hot lap after hot lap until you're ahead.
Very true, very true. Didn't see it like that. Thank you. But here we go as the drivers are forming up on the grid. Before we get started, wait for the lights. All the drivers are coming up. Here we go. Here we have the 5 lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. And we are off at the start of the race. All the corner looks like he's got a good run out of the pole. He's defending on the inside. Closes the door on Canada King. But Deer Hunter is getting swapped. Number 1, Fin. There's a lot of cluster back there. Chandler, Meanford. There is a big thing. Ooh, someone loses it. There's a huge mess in turn 1. Alderfer and Canada King's taking the battle to Alderfer for the lead of the race. Here they go. Chandler's
trying to make his way through. Deer Hunter is right fighting on him.
He's making
and a big collision.
Wing. Mean Fern gets the short end of the stick there as Canada King and Deer Hunter. Is Deer Hunter going to give team orders and tell Canada King, I need by? But here goes Ham Newton. Ham Newton is trying to get past Deer Hunter. Webster is up there. SF1 Rhodes is sitting 7th. Ferrari Nut has not moved. We have a virtual safety car out on the track.
Yeah, Sparky got really caught up in the mix of that and really lost out. He's got a hurting wing and had to turn around. He was totally turned around.
What a shame.
Same with Fin. He's lost out all of his wing. Meanford's lost his.
As we have a virtual safety car, lap 1 of 11, massive battle. These drivers clearly showing that they want to push as hard as they can, hot lap after hot lap, like Wrathful said here in the booth. We have Alderfer. He's still leading out the race. Chandler set at 2nd. Canada King still holding his own in 3rd here. Give the guy some props here. Ham Newton gets an amazing jump.
Makes the move on
the
VSC.
Here goes Webster.
That's something I would do. I don't blame him.
Webster getting the short end of the stick. Looks like the door got closed. Either Canada King or Deer Hunter caused the accident. What a shame. That's going to slot SF1 Rhodes up to 6th. Ferrari Nut now up to 7th. Ferrari Nut's trying to make something work around here, because he knows he has to try to get past. As Alderfer
Alderfer's. Oh, man.
So now that we have it, Chandler said it. He's leading the race with Ham Newton in 2nd. Canada King still holding it out for the Carlin team in 3rd. Deer Hunter 4th.
Took out Rhodes' wing with the Alderfer incident, looks like. So he's hurting as well. A lot of these guys are hurting on wings and making that pit stop already.
We have Ferrari Nut 5th, Taylor Klein 6th. SF1 Road.
Deer Hunter's making the move on Canada King. They're going side by side, teammates.
Here they go. Ferrari Nut's looking for it. Ferrari Nut goes, thank you very much. Have a nice day. Taylor Klein also looking like he wants to make a move. Deer Hunter gets past Canada King as well. Taylor Klein trying to make something happen. Is he going to get the run on Canada King to make it stick on this long straight? Canada King making his car 3 miles wide. Let's see what Taylor Klein makes something happen. If we have a yellow sector 1. Looks like BRL Sparky having a little bit of issues. A massive battle for 4th and 5th here. Taylor Klein. Canada King, I gotta give him props here, Rathel. He is really, you know, sticking his elbows out, racing.
Holding his own.
Yeah. Here we have Taylor
considering
Klein.
they're only 2.5 seconds off Ferrari now, that's not that bad. He's really kind of holding pace.
Ooh, Taylor Klein gets a run on the outside of Canada King. He gets past, but how much further is he going to make this stick? He does make it stick.
Toxin and Maverick are fighting it out as Maverick's made his way up to P7 after starting near the back from having a rough first run.
What an amazing race by BRL Maverick. Showcasing his abilities. He usually does not race F2 with these drivers, but he decided to jump in and race with them. As we have Ham Newton, he's now 2/10 behind Chandler. Ham Newton getting a beautiful run out of that corner. Side by side they go for the lead of the race on lap 3 out of 11. Ooh, both drivers giving each other adequate amount of space. Here goes Ham. DRS is open. Can Ham Newton make it stick? All over the back of the gearbox. He gets side by side with. He makes it stick around Chandler. But is Chandler going to send it in? No, he doesn't. He has to check up right behind Ham Newton.
He's going to make him work for it, though. He's pushing him.
Oh, yeah.
But Maverick's all in the back of Canada King, and Hoopalicious and Toxin are fighting into the corners as well.
We're going to jump back here and see. Is he going to make it stick? Maverick makes it pass. Does he?
No, switch back. Canada King is right on the back of Maverick. He's going to try and make the move. Can't. Maverick's just going to keep on pushing his way through as Toxin's trying to catch up to him. And Hoopalicious is right on his 6 as well.
As we have the sun is out, we're riding aboard with the top 2. Chandler sends it up on the inside. Does he make it stick? He goes way too deep.
And that's
He's
going
got
to
to
give Ham
surrender
Newton
the
a
position.
run away.
What a shame by Chandler. As Maverick receives a
That's just going to
3-second
try
time
and
penalty.
close in a little bit more.
Sparky gets another 10-second time penalty. All this battling is clear.
As FinFan takes the fastest lap, but he's down in 11th right now.
But if none of these drivers can go faster on the medium compound tires, that's going to be 2 points that's not being able to award to these drivers. So we have the closest
Jumping
battle.
on the super softs, I doubt that they'll be able to do it, but yeah, these guys are really fighting it out. Chandler's really trying to catch the back of Ham Newton. Hoopalicious is on the back of Toxin. They're all fighting it out, though.
We're going to jump on Hoopalicious. It looks like there's a little bit of a tap, but very clean, though. DRS is open. Can Hoopalicious make something happen to Toxin? We're right on board Toxin as they come through here. Oh, down on the inside. Hoopalicious locks it up, but Toxin defends.
Chandler's trying to get a better run on Ham Newton down the pit straight. Just having a hard time with some of that oversteer. He's just going to lose that a little bit of time coming over the line. But he still has DRS on Ham Newton. Going to try and close that in. Ferrari Nuts closed it in. He was 1.5 away. He's only 1.2 now. Chandler's going to try and make the inside dive on Ham Newton. As these two are going to try and go side by side.
Here goes Chandler on the inside.
Chandler wants the inside line. Yeah.
Doesn't make it stick. Ham defends. Light lock up there. What an amazing battle by these drivers. As there's a virtual safety car.
We have a virtual safety car. Maverick is out into the wall in Sector 1. Wonder if that was either contact of some sort, but
with that has now, that virtual safety car, Chandler has fallen back a good distance to Ham Newton. Before, he was a 10th back all over the gearbox.
And Ferrari Nut is now on him as well. So it's definitely a fight for the top 3 between these 3.
Definitely did not help out Chandler said at all, with Ferrari Nut now all over the back of his gearbox. And clearly not helping out Ham Newton as we get going here.
Although, like Taylor Clan made good use of it, closing up that gap to Deer Hunter a bit. Hopefully, with the fighting up ahead, we have another 5-way battle going into the last 3 laps. So we'll have to see how that turns out.
Hoopalicious gets past Toxin, and Ham Newton gets a 3-second time penalty.
That could very well shake up the whole final grid order.
Right now, based on
Taylor Clan's got DRS on Deer Hunter. Toxin's going to try and close in on Hoopalicious, and Alderfer's going to try and close in on Hoopalicious as well.
Toxin on the outside, Hoopalicious on the inside. Toxin makes it stick. Canada King is in front of them. Looks like Hoopalicious lost a little bit, and he's going to fall back a little bit to Alderfer as he's starting to reel him in as much as they can go. We have a yellow sector 3. Toxin falls back. 3 wide up into this corner. Alderfer closing the door, kind of squeezing Toxin a little bit. Toxin locks it up and almost throws it into a wall. What a shame there. Alderfer all over the back of Hoopalicious. We're going to keep an eye on this battle and just wait to see what happens to these front 2 runners. As Ferrari has fallen back to 1.2
Chandler's
seconds.
made the move on Ham Newton.
Here they go.
He's going on the outside line.
Chandler's set purple sector 2. Can he go faster than the super soft tires? This car's very squirrely. Ham Newton still looking to try to make something happen.
His Alderfer's made his way around Hoopalicious, and now he's trying to catch down Canada King again. As Ham Newton takes another 3-second time penalty.
Now that's just going to make him fall down the grid. Based on that, that will put him in 5th place without knowing any other person's time penalties in this race. As Ham Newton goes on the inside of Chandler. They all go in. Does he make it stick? He does, but Chandler's fighting back around the outside of the carousel. They go. Is Chandler going to make it stick? Chandler has the preferred line. He does, but Ham Newton stays with him.
They give each other enough room, playing nicely with each other, but Ferrari Nut's trying to close that in. He's now in DRS range.
We've seen this time and time again. Ferrari Nut sits back there, waits for his move as Ham Newton goes off track again. He sits there, he waits till about the last 2 to 3 laps, and then punches it as fast as he can to try to reel in a lot of these drivers. As we have Taylor Clan, he's sitting 5th. He's still sitting back there behind Deer Hunter, not really doing a whole lot. As Canada King is sitting 7th. Sparky and Webster battling it out in the last. And the top 3 are coming onto them very shortly here. In the next 2 corners, they will see the back runners as they come up.
Hoopalicious is going to make the move on Canada King. He dives it in deep. He backs out of it last second. Canada King's going to hold on to that position for now.
Ooh,
As
Hoopalicious
is having a hard
loses it.
time with traction.
You know, these F2 cars are very tricky to drive. The back end breaks out very easy, as you just see it right there with Hoopalicious. Smaller tires.
Ham Newton's making the move on Chandler. He's got DRS. He's trying to take the outside.
Chandler closes the door on him. Ferrari Nut still 1.5 seconds back. I thought Ferrari Nut would try to reel them in a little bit more as we get closer to the end of the laps. And I have spoken too soon. He's now 7 tenths behind them. He is pushing. Hoopalicious is still 4 tenths back behind Canada King. We have a yellow section. Sparky has retired from the session. What a shame there. Hoopalicious has fallen back to Canada King 6 tenths.
That's going to bring out a safety car.
Wow, and it is 8 out of 11 laps. So based on this right now, safety car 3 laps. Maybe they'll do 2 laps. If so,
I would imagine it'd be 2 or 1 lap, yeah.
So based on that, if it's a 3-lapper, that brings us to the end of the race. If it's a 2-lapper, that means we will have a 1-lap shootout. Before we get started here, which will definitely help out Ferrari not trying to get the jump on Ham Newton here. Toxin gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. What a shame. SF1 Rhodes gets a 5-second time penalty. Looks like none of the drivers are jumping to super softs, which is interesting because based on the delta, you know, from what I see here, these top 3 runners, they could have pitted for a set of super softs. If Taylor Klein dives in the pits, he's probably going to go to a set of super softs or get his wing changed. You know, you think about it, they could have dove in the pits, put the super softs on, and still came out in the top 5 and just did a massive push.
I think Taylor's put on the softs to go the last 2 laps on fresh, but I'm not so sure that was a good call compared to a super soft run just to the end.
Looks like he's gone to mediums via the game.
Yeah.
Toxin has dove into the pits. He's getting his wing replaced. He's going to the super soft compound tires. So Webster has dove back into the pits. So as we have it, 9 out of 11. The running order that we have now is Chandler Setta sitting out there on the front with Ham Newton 2nd, Ferrari Nut 3rd, Deer Honor 4th. After everything that has happened, he's reeled his way into 4th. BRL Aldifer is 5th. Canada King is 6th. You know, he managed to finish, I believe it was 6th. No, 7th in the last, 7th in the feature. So strong points for him, and now 6th. So if he's able to keep his elbows up,
defended from 2nd, only down to 6th. Not bad compared to some of the other drivers' pace that he's fighting. Considering some of these guys are a mix of Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3, and he's a Tier 3 driver. Good on him.
Hoopalicious is 7th. Safety car is in this lap. That means the drivers will have 2 laps to battle it out to their heart's content. Taylor Klein 8th, FinFan 9th, Mean Fern 10th, SF1 Rhodes 11th, Toxin 12th, Webster 13th as we get ready to start the last 2 laps of the F2 race.
It looks
here.
like Taylor Klein might be able to catch the pack right before the end. FinFan won't be able to. And Canada King's going to use this to try and hold his position. I know that Ham Newton's 6 seconds is definitely not going to help him with all these other drivers being
up to the last corner. Here goes Chandler. Is he going to get a run on Ham Newton? Onto the main straight they go. Chandler getting a little bit of a pull, about 3 tenths, but there's a massive freight train of the top 6 behind them as the top 8, I apologize, behind them. As Ham Newton is looking at it possibly on the inside, but he checks up behind Chandler Setta with Ferrari Nut right behind them. Canada King gets a 3-second time penalty. What a shame as Taylor Klein gets past Canada King. But will he fall back to Hoopalicious? That is the question. SF1 Rhodes has retired from the session. What a shame there. I do not believe that we will be seeing a safety car out. As
Hoopalicious takes a 3-second, trying to take a dive down on Canada King. Canada King's really trying to defend that position for those points. He's probably going to get it, though.
Taylor Clan all over the back of BRL Aldifer. What an amazing battle we have for the last 2 laps. We see Hoopalicious.
Taylor Clan's going to be able to make the move. Aldifer locks it up. They're side by side.
Here we go.
Protection zone. They're side by side. No one's being able to gain any positions.
Looks like
Taylor Clan's going to back out of it.
Corner.
Hoopalicious is going to take Canada King at the corner as well.
But we do know Hoopalicious has a 3-second time penalty. So Canada King can jump him in the stand. All Canada King has to do is just keep his head down and focus on the last 2
Canada
laps.
King also had a 3 second, so it might be a parred thing. So I would say keep pushing. It's hard to see who's got what, but Chandler's trying to take a more defensive line on Ham Newton. But Ham Newton's still gonna have that push as he's looking at
Chandler's
the
looking
inside
on the
line.
Is he gonna lock it up just a little bit? He does on the front right, closes the door, gets a run on Chandler. Chandler's gonna have to make a decision. He's gonna have to take the outside line up to this corner if he wants to make something stick. Hoopalicious gets another 3-second time penalty.
That's not going to help anything as Aldifer locks it up again. Taylor Clan and him have light contact as they're trying to sort out who in that 5th slot.
Side by side, 1 and 2 go. Ham Newton and Chandler. These drivers are giving each other all the respectful amount of space. A little bit of a tap on the front wing. Ham Newton gave Chandler, but Ferrari that's right there.
Yeah, these guys are all fighting within 0.3 of a second, so that's pretty tight.
Here they go. Will Chandler get a run on Ham Newton onto this straightaway?
He looks like he's got a bit more speed. He's going to try and take that outside line.
Ooh, Chandler squeezes him out a little bit. Ham Newton sends it up on the inside. There goes Ferrari.
He's going to try and hold him.
Ferrari nut all over the back of Ham.
Look for a move.
Ham defends on the inside.
Ferrari nut takes the outside line. Now the inside. He's going to try and take the move on Ham Newton. Can't get enough traction.
Here they go. Second to last corner. How's this all going to shake up? Chandler finishes first. Ferrari nut second. Deer Hunter third. BRL Aldifer fourth. Newton fifth. Taylor Clan sixth. Hoopalicious finishes eighth. That's going to give Canada King another 9th place finish.
And Fin Fan is going to take 8th off of Hoop. That's
mean for 9th out of Hoop.
Interesting one.
Now here comes Toxin. What is he able to do here?
Fin Fan went 10 laps on the Super Softs. Same with Rhodes in the first race. Like I don't know how those guys do it, but hats off to you. You can handle that kind of dig.
We watch the final laps of Toxin as he comes through in the final corners. And there you have it, everybody. We have finished the sprint race of the BRL F2 season here at Russia. I'm your host, BRL Exia 1984. We're going to get on with the last of this and definitely get to our post-race interviews with the top finishing drivers. Let's see where everybody finished. Let's see what we got. Chandler Seta finishing the sprint race at the top with Ferrari nut second and Deer Hunter third. followed by BRL, Aldifer, Hand, Taylor Clan, Canada King, Fin Fan, Mean Fern, Hoop, Toxin, Webster, SF1 Road, Sparky, and Maverick. Now we are going to see how it overall finished. We have Chandler winning it out in the first, Ham Newton second, and Ferrari Nut third. So we will try to get those drivers here in as soon as possible, and get the interview started. We'll try to get Chandler in here as soon as possible. Same with Ham Newton and Ferrari Nut.
Remember to hit that include audio button for you guys, but thank you for joining.
Do we have Chandler? Chandler is in the booth.
Have all three.
Okay. So it was Chandler and
there goes him,
left.
He had to prove me wrong for some.
It was Chandler, Ham, Ferrari Nut overall, yeah.
Yes.
Sorry,
overall,
I have the shortest memory today. All right. Welcome. Please, drivers, check the audio to include your audio. And we will get started here. Now, Ferrari Nut, through the race, you've shown amazing pace. You were looking very fast during the practice sessions, everything. And then during the races, it almost seemed like you were there, but it didn't seem like you had what it really needed to. It seemed like you were being held up a little bit by Mean Fern, trying to battle through him. Talk us through your feature and then your sprint race.
I mean, both were fairly straightforward. Most of the field in the sprint race just knocked themselves out of the way in turn one, and then Fern and I had a bit of a coming together at turn 5, 4, whatever it is, the right-hander after the long left-hander. Just got a little wheel locked going on the exit and bounced both of us into the wall. Amazingly, I didn't damage the car. He got quite a bit of damage, so I have to apologize to him for that, but felt like that was just a racing incident between the two of us. Feature race was fairly quiet. I just don't know what the difference was. I don't know if Chandler said something during the second race, I believe, when Ham just blew past him on the back straightaway under DRS, and I'm not sure if he was running less wing than we were or what, but he definitely had the pace advantage here. So to only lose 6 points to him in the championship fight with only 2 race weekends left is not too bad considering. Could have gone a lot worse.
Yes, it could have, but at least the championship fight is still there for you in this race. I'm going to leave Mr. Wrathful to our second place finisher, Mr. Ham Newton.
What a race. What a race. You had quite the battles going on, especially in that sprint race there. It looked like you had a little bit more control of the race for the feature there, Ham, but talk us through it.
Yeah, that was fun. Both races, they were kind of similar, I guess. Especially like the sprint race, once we got past a few of the guys, but yeah, it was just me and Chandler. Chandler and I going side by side almost every corner. So it was a good battle. I wasn't really happy with my quality lap, but at least it was P2 and not farther back, so didn't hurt me, I guess. And then the only thing I really regret about this weekend is obviously the 2 penalties in the sprint race. They were definitely avoidable. I could have picked up a lot more points. But yeah, I'm happy with the win.
Yeah, not bad.
It was tough.
Pretty entertaining to watch.
For sure.
Yeah, that was definitely entertaining to watch you two fight it out the whole time. You definitely worked for those points today, that's for sure.
Well, I have to say congratulations on second place. I mean, what an amazing battle. Like, Wrathful and I just couldn't help but admire, the professionalism that both you and Chandler had. Giving each other space but still racing hard throughout the whole entire race. And with that brings us to our overall feature, our overall weekend champion, race winner through everything, Chandler Seta. You pretty much had a strong battle with Ham in the first race, but it seemed like in the beginning of the sprint race, you kind of had the luck of the draw with the big jump by going from, I believe it was 7th all the way up to 3rd. And then you had to try to make your way around Canada King and Aldifer. Talk us through that.
Yeah, usually my starts are pretty good with F2, so I got the start going, and then with the slipstream all the way down to the first braking zone, I just gained more and more. And I felt I kept a straight line, but then I don't know who it was in front of me, but the car in front and like to the right of me, they moved over last second and hit me, and that kind of sent him along a few others off to wherever, and so that's what got me through there. But I definitely know I kept a straight line through there, so they just moved over. That got me a few positions. And then Canada was just easy to get, and then Aldifer completely dropped it on his own. That gave me the lead, and then Ham and whatever caught up again, and then safety cars and whatever led to me taking the win.
Well, I have to say congratulations with that. What an amazing battle you guys all had here in Russia. I believe the next race is, let's pull this up, in the championship
Brazil.
standing. Is it Brazil?
I believe it's Brazil.
So you guys do have a break week for the next week. And then on 5/29/2020, you guys will be at the Brazilian Grand Prix. And then the week following, you guys will be at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. I just want to say congratulations. This will actually help you kind of reel in Mean Fern here in the championship battle, and kind of bring it a little closer to Ferrari Nut and Ham Newton, which is always a good sign for that, you know, up in that top 3. I just want to say thank you to all the drivers.
They're definitely out of reach, but I'm going for Fern now, I guess. Seems to be.
Yes. But again,
I heard he's pretty mean.
congratulations to the drivers in finishing and racing, participating, especially BRL Aldifer, Toxin, and BRL Maverick, who all participated. My name is BRL XU1984, and we are signing off.